And we've been thinking about alignment. We've been thinking about that as a theme, as a intention, whatever, bringing it into life, bringing it into practice. On today's practice, I'm really going to focus on the spine. So I'm going to focus on how alignment really, the beginning of it, the root of alignment starts and finishes with the spine. So playlist is alignment, and you can start that now. So it should be on my Spotify. I keep saying this because I can't actually open my Spotify for some reason, which is, let me just try it again because it might have changed its mind now, but it's being a little bit naughty and the internet's doing this weird thing where it's not opening it, and then it's asking me to log back in, but I don't remember my password. So anyway, alignment.
I'll do what I can, but I still have a sore spine. Okay.
Yes, of course. Yeah, totally understand. And actually, this practice today, for anyone that is watching the recording as well, that is in a bit of pain and discomfort with their spine or back area, this actually hopefully is aimed to ease that. And so more than taking it deeply backwards or forwards, actually what I want us to do, and my whole intention of this class, is to bring our awareness to the spine in everything that we do. So more deliberate, less of a deliberate spinal movement, much more, we're in revolve trikonasana example, what's the spine doing? Or we're in malasana, squat pose, what's the spine doing? Can we visualize the spine? Can we think about where it is, where its alignment is? And that's where we start to track the body a bit better, and we can be a bit clearer on actually, oh, I didn't realize, but I slightly lean forwards in that pose. Oh, I slightly lean to the left or the right. We can start to figure out and start to map our body a bit more clearly and with more accuracy if we're actually being really specific about the points that we're going into. And so the spine is that one today.
Can I
So,
ask you to be specific about our necks in that context? Because I find that my neck is never in the right place. Sorry to keep
yes,
interrupting the recording, but that would
no.
be really...
Great, no, fine. Yeah, certainly. I mean, as an extension of the spine, the neck obviously is part of that as well. And that's a lot to do with where we're looking and a lot to do with our chin as well, and our chin leading the way. And actually I will talk about that lots then, because what we often find in postural stuff is that the spine doesn't end just at the top of the spine where we think it is, kind of, along the top of the shoulder ridge. The spine does end as it inserts into the base of the skull. And so the neck as well, a lot of the time our spine might be doing it, like the main trunk of our body might be doing one thing, and then our neck could be doing something totally different. Yeah. And actually the main trunk of the spine stays the same, but because of that postural imbalance of the neck moving, or the head or chin guiding the way, actually the spine isn't in full alignment. There isn't full freedom and full easeful flow. Okay, so let's come to lay on our backs. Playlist can be going as it already might be, and that's all good because it's a nice long playlist, this one. Feet flat to the floor, back of the head down, and knees are bent, and soles of the feet are hip distance apart. Palms facing the sky in cactus arms, or arms out wide in T shape, whatever feels good. And just allowing the body to breathe all the way down into the belly. And with the eyes closed, the first thing we're doing is we're taking these breaths. So we're imagining inhale and exhale. Inhale, filling up from the base of the spine. So you can feel that part, the bony prominence on the earth beneath you. Inhale, filling up from the base of the spine towards the crown of the head. And then exhale, draining back down, like washing back down over the body, but with specific relevance and focus to the spine. And we'll think of the spine, and when I say spine, what I'm talking about is the space from the kind of back of the skull all the way to where your coccyx is, your tailbone, so your bum. And when we think about that area, there's quite a lot that it encompasses. There's a vast proportion of our makeup. And there's a lot attached to the spine, around the spine. There's a lot of organs and other major joints and bones in that structural space. But just try to keep bringing the mind back to the spine. And as an extension of the spine, the neck is also involved in that. And we have to appreciate as well that those two spaces, they do move independently of each other, but they can also bring so much harmony and a feeling of security, grounding, and balance if they're brought together. A practice that's focusing on one space really gives us the option to excavate the things that might be happening in practice that we don't notice usually, because usually we are focused on so many parts. But we obviously will know what the feet and the hips, the knees are doing, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. We'll be aware of all of this, but it's not our main focus. That's happening. The focus is the spine. And like I said, thinking about the spine as that key space, back of head, all the way to bum, past the tailbone, past the coccyx. Place the hands now down by your side, and we'll continue this breath up and down the body. As you inhale, push into the soles of the feet, just elevate bum and lower part of the spine, just noticing how much of the spine comes away from the ground. Exhaling to gently roll the spine back down. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to lower. Inhale. And exhale. Couple more here. So starting to feel active, starting to feel the muscles engaged to help support the spine. As you come all the way down the next time, straighten the arms up above the head and legs out long. Point the toes, reach through the fingertips and get really nice and spacious. So imagine here the spine itself, each vertebrae trying to actually stretch and lengthen, trying to find some space between. And then hug the knees up to the chest. And again, focusing on the spine, what happens here? And your neck too. Does your neck come up and get involved? Does that feel good or does that feel like a strain? Can you still get a beautiful stretch out of the back body? And focus on the spine and neck with the head to the floor. So you decide. Happy baby gives us a bit more suction of the spine to the ground. So searching for your variation on happy baby, elbows to the inside of the legs, hands around feet or peace fingers around big toes, soles of the feet to the sky. Deepen the breath. And then slowly releasing just the left foot down and hugging the right knee in. So left leg extends all the way away from the body. We're going to draw the right leg up and over, coming to twist. The knee doesn't have to come to the floor, but think about what the spine is doing in this instance. The neck, where are we looking? Where's our drishti turning? What direction is our chin turning towards? And then slowly bring the right knee back through to the center. We'll hold around the back of the right thigh, keeping the spine rooted to the earth. The left leg extended. Extend your right leg then to the sky. Flex the foot, so stretching through the hamstring. The leg does not need to lock out here, as you know. And we can roll the ankle here as well, get some freedom and space in that joint. Now it's getting a little colder, or a lot colder. Suddenly we're in our very wintry climate. Joints, especially those in the feet, because we're getting colder feet. The extremities and the furthest point away from the heart and the body will be the coldest point, most likely, as the weather changes. So let's just keep the movement going in this joint so that we don't get tight, sore, or resistant there. Right leg to the ground. Bend the left knee, draw the left leg in, straighten out the right leg, and we'll go for a twist the other way. So we'll bring the left knee over the straightened right leg. And just going to the point where it feels good. We do not need to go any further. So let's just expand, feel. Slowly from here, we'll bring the leg back through to the center, scooping around the back of the left thigh, and we'll start to kick the left foot towards the sky. So start to find a little bit more length through the hamstring, and again, movement through the ankle, the toes, the foot. And slowly from here, releasing the left leg. Take the left leg all the way down, stretch the arms above the head one more time, thinking about where the spine is. We're then going to hug the knees in and rock up and down the spine, up and down the spine. I'm going to come into straight legged, seated forward fold, so Paschimottanasana, also known as. And as we start to come here, straightening out the legs, lifting through the crown of the head, take an inhale as you reach your hands high. Exhale as you tip forward and working with the spine long. Now, the other thing that happens here with the neck, as the extension of the spine, is the chin lifts and we look forwards. This causes closing, compression in the back of the neck, okay? So we're thinking about we want to keep long through the spine. I think tucking the chin slightly, the gaze can still be forward, but suddenly we lengthen out that space in the neck as well. Think about from the sacrum. So we're thinking about from the lower back all the way up to the top of, well, to the base of the skull, actually. The length, the space, and the freedom there. Doesn't matter whether you're holding the toes or the feet. Now, what you want to imagine here is the spine actually growing longer. So it's like that decompression effect is actually taking away any compounding, any action that compresses. Take one more deep breath in. One more exhale. Releasing the feet, slowly rising up. Sweep them round to one side. Come onto your hands and your knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And as you come into tabletop position, looking down between the thumbs, just to find and gather our strength and stability here to be able to ground and root to the earth. We're going to start to think about rolling through cat and cow, but before we do, think about the spine here. Now it's in space. So now it's not laying on the floor. Thinking about the structure of the spine, the feeling of it here. Scanning from the back of the skull all the way to the lower spine or the bum. The space in between, noticing if there's any, and I use the word weak spot in a way that what I mean is unable to hold. So for me, my weak spot is in my upper back between my shoulder blades. I can feel my chest is drawing towards the floor. It's like my shoulder blades are like magnets to each other trying to get together. But I can feel that this is in my middle upper back. And that is where there's weakness. And for me, what weakness means is that I'm simply not, and what it means for everyone, but here I'm not engaging my arms enough. I'm not pressing enough. So if I push the floor away, suddenly that space does not feel like it is kind of just floppy and in space. When you've made your adjustment for your spine, as you inhale, drop the belly down, chin and tailbone to the sky. Again, watch the neck. What's happening there as you lift the chin? So how can you make more room? You could draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round the spine, push into the floor. Inhale, rising, chest and chin through, heart space forward. Exhale, round. Inhale and exhale here. Moving your way through, rippling out. Extending, expressing the sense of stretch and length, feeling into everywhere. And then lengthen the spine, come to center. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm all the way under. Rotation through the spine. Notice for you where you feel this. So each pose that we come into, we're just taking a moment in it to notice the spine. Yeah, I will keep prompting that, but I won't keep going in to the minute detail of everything. So I really want this to be a felt experience and a person-led experience in the practice, rather than the teacher leading each and every thing that you should be feeling or could be feeling. The spine here. And unthread the right arm, but reach it to the sky as you do. So really big, tall, reach all the way up. And bring it back down. Left hand, inhale. Exhale, thread it under. Right hand pushes. Deepening the breath. Feeling the spine. Different maybe on this side, maybe the same. Press into the right hand, inhale, unthread the left arm. Press the left hand to the floor. Puppy dog, hands to the top corners of the mat, heart towards the ground. Think of the spine and notice if the chin's down, what's that doing to the neck? Does that actually feel really good and supportive? Could the forehead or cheek come down instead, and could that be more supportive? And then still watching the spine. Where allows you to get heavy and where feels like it's pushing back with a bit of resistance. Slide forwards onto your belly. Sphinx. Sphinx to seal transition. So elbows and forearms down to start off with. The spine straight away is in that lovely curvature, okay? And so this might be enough. I want you to think about the neck and head as well, because this is a place where we can really start to put tension through the neck if we're looking forwards and up the whole time. So slight tuck of the chin. As you inhale, press into the palms, elevate elbows. As you exhale, lower down. There's someone at the door, but who could it be? That was the postman. Inhale, come up, come down. Sorry about that interruption. I always wonder if it's going to be a next door neighbor asking us to move something, or I don't know. Inhale to elevate, exhale to lower. We're just finding that extension and the whole time, and you might even close the eyes for lots of the practice today, because to really tune in, it often is a great little tool, isn't it? Eye closure. It gives us the space to really turn inwards. And you might not even need to lift the elbows to feel the extension, and that might be your maximum in Sphinx, and that is absolutely okay. Coming down all the way, hands next to chest. Watch your spine in the entire moment of transitioning here. From the ground here, all the way to down dog. Watch the spine, okay? Watch your spine. Be with your spine. Notice what it goes through in that transition.
Just noticing, becoming aware. And when you get to down dog, the spine is like the slide. That's literally what I've always got in my head when I'm in down dog. Every day, like twice a day. That's what I'm visualizing. The spine is a slide. Okay. And the knees can soften to accommodate that slide as well. Yeah, so think about it like if water was to run down your back from your sacrum all the way to the crown of the head, it just travels in one straight line. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. So exhale, step the right foot to the inside of the right thumb. Lower the back knee. We're coming up into our low lunge. So as we arrive up here in the hips, reach the hands to the sky. Notice the spine. Notice what your head is doing. Is the chin leading us forward, like feeling like it's being pulled forwards because we are used to this action in life? Can we rein it back, bring it back in? The hands could be up, the hands also could be down. They don't need to be in the air right now. We're watching the spine. We're mindful of that center point of the body, that cord through the middle of us. Take a deep breath in. Lift the left arm to the sky. Let the right hand come to the thigh. Exhale, lean over. Inhale, just come back to center. So a little bit of side waving in the body, side bending. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale. And inhale. And what we're trying to do is let this come from the trunk, from the biggest part of the spine, so that middle part, okay, rather than from the legs. If you feel like the legs are like navigating this, try to keep them grounded as you turn, as you gently side bend, opening up through the side body, and as you come back. Twisting, reach forwards. Hand to the floor, hand to a block, your choice. I prefer hand to a block, you may not. Right hand to thigh, inhale to find twist. Exhale to rotate more to face the earth. Inhale to find twist. Exhale to turn. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the back knee. Toes tucked or untucked. Continue your twisting. Inhale. Stay with the back knee lifted. Exhale. Maybe the right arm starts to reach to the sky. One more. Come down, wide leg fold. Press a return to the wide edge of the mat. Turn the toes in, heels are out. Hands to the earth. Spine is like a slide. Now this slide can be on any angle. And this is the important thing to remember. When the spine is straight, for a lot of us in forward fold position, the spine is rounded because what we're trying to do is get the body through between the legs more, or we're anchoring onto the feet. And this creates a curve in the spine. But if we want the spine to stay straight, we might need to do something different with the hands. So for some people, and it will do it the other way probably with my spine. So it might not be quite a clear example, although maybe it will. I'll try and make it as straight as possible. If my hands come out in front of me, I'm in my wide leg fold, my chin can be tucked and I can have a straight spine here. Okay. Whereas for some people, when they're holding their feet, we're rounded like this. So we have this strain and stress on the spine already. So it might be that foot grab isn't really actually in the body's practice. And this is a felt sense. You don't always need a mirror. Like if you feel like your tailbone, your hips are able to tilt up and back, then you've got some movement. You've probably got some length. Imagine I've come behind you. I've put my fingers in the crease of your hips and I'm actually pulling your hips back and up towards me. And you're trying to grow long the other way. Like your crown of your head's trying to grow away from me. Okay, so deepen the breath here. There's a lot we can go into with the spine. So much. Release. Walk around, frame the right foot. Back knee to the earth, wriggle the right foot forwards. Let's go for half Hanuman. Dig the right heel down. And again, find the straight spine. So for me, straight away, as soon as I did this, I thought, I'm definitely rounded. So blocks is a great option under the hands. Failing that, fingertips are cool because you're not putting any weight through your hands. Well, you shouldn't need to if you've got the weight in the legs. And you can really kind of load up that back leg, the left leg. And rebend the right knee, coming forwards. Okay, kickstand the left foot over to the left, slide the right foot back. We're finding our side plank variation here. So right hand to the sky, left knee to the ground. Right foot hovers off the ground, maybe. And maybe if it feels good to open the spine this way, and watching the spine as you take this movement, bending the right knee, catching the right foot in the right hand. And it's a lot in the shoulder and the hip flexor as well. So it's not just the back, but the back does change. The mechanics of what's going on in the spine has to alter in order to be here. Think about what the head's doing as well. Is your neck under strain because your face is going forwards? Or is your chin turning a certain way that doesn't quite fit with the smoothness and easefulness? Release the foot back and down. Hand to the floor, full plank position. What's your spine doing in full plank? Lower. Back bend of your choice. And watch your spine as you transition this into downward facing dog. So be with your spine the entire way, back and up, creating that slide. We're in alignment when we're thinking about alignment in the body. We're really thinking about how we can make everything run smoothly. Well-oiled machine. One more breath in, down dog. Left leg to the sky, deep breath in. Left foot steps to the inside of the thumb. Back knee to the ground, rising up. I'm going to open these a little bit because I think the light's gone in a little bit. You can have the arms to the sky. That feels good. So you can have the arms down. Whatever feels good. You're thinking about the spine. How can we adjust? Left sit bone can drop. Ribs don't want to flare forwards. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to be in this massive back bend right now. Whatever. Inhale, left hand to thigh, right hand to sky. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale to the middle. Watch the chin. Watch the neck and the spine. Drishti is going to be really helpful here. Gaze point as you tip and as you recenter. As you tip, she says, as you recenter. One more. We're going to twist, so we're going to reach high with the right hand and then lengthen, lean forwards. Again, using a block underneath the hand if that feels good. Twisting to the left, take a big breath in. Exhale to let the body face the earth. So we're warming up the spine here by rotation. Inhale to twist. Hand to the thigh will create more downward pressure. Exhale to center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Nice. Stay with the breath. Continue the movement. Pick up the back knee if that feels good. Left arm can start to wave, or it might already be waving. Nice, up to the sky, back down. Nice, and the next time the hand comes down, we're walking around, wide legs. Toes in, heels out. Fold. Now find your fold. Spine is like a slide. Also try not to tuck chin to chest too much. Sometimes when we're trying to look up towards the navel almost, we get this rounding in the upper back and this tension in the shoulder. You find your anchorage point. You might notice a different something about your spine and how it even works with your pelvis as well. Thinking about that feeling of someone pulling the hips up and back. And walking the hands all the way around to frame the left foot. I find forward folding the most fascinating with spine stuff. Right knee to the floor. Moving back into half Hanuman, because the spine kind of isn't the main focus of folds usually, but it should be, because it has such a major part to play in the whole thing. So from here, we bend the left knee. Plant the hands, step back, plank. No, ignore me. Leave the right knee down, kickstand the right foot over to the right, step the left foot back. I knew something came before plank. Left hand to the sky. Squeeze the bum, breathe. Hover the left foot. Think of the spine, the length of the spine. Really different position when you're side to the floor as well. So different feeling, catching the left foot maybe. And then releasing the foot, thinking of the spine again, the whole way with the foot to the ground. And as you come into plank, length, strength, lower to the floor. Back bend. Child's pose. Sit back. Let the forehead rest. Think of what the spine is doing here. Think of the neck as well. Where's the forehead? Where's the chin pointing towards? One more breath. Unravel the spine, walk the hands up. I'm going to move through a little seated sequence and move the feet around out in front of you, straightening the legs. Move the flesh from the sit bones out and away. Flex the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. Catch the feet, catch the ankles, catch the calves, wherever you are. Breathe. And finding that straight legged fold again. putting in and implementing all of the bits about the lengthening of the spine. So what happens again sometimes even here is that we can't quite reach as far towards our feet as we did before. We might need to find a different place to hold, to grip onto. And then releasing the feet, releasing the legs, unravel the spine. Bend the right knee, take the right foot up and over left leg, and use the left arm to hug in as you twist. Okay, so we're here in our rotation. And again, the chin really and the neck is the guide. It's going to show us what's going on in the spine, because often in this pose, we might be straining to twist it a little deeper, maybe to feel more sensation, or perhaps just because that's the natural guide of the head. But I really want us to try to stay nice and central and try and let the head not dictate the direction that the body moves in. Not for a moment anyway. I want you to think about where the spine wants to move to. So be with the spine, rotate there. And that might be, you know, a little deeper hugging in of the thigh. It might be more rotation. You might be able to see out the window. It's really heavily snowing here. 1st of December, right on cue. And as you rotate, just feeling into the spine. And slowly unravel the spine. Unhook the right leg. Extend. Bend the left knee. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just take a moment though, lengthen through the crown of the head. So neutralize the spine. Think about as we twist the spine one way, as we move it one way, also wanting to come back to center and not just crush into the side that we've just opened. So not just to compound there. I use the word crush. That sounds like quite intense, doesn't it? And it can be intense. Step the left foot up and over. Hug the knee, hug the thigh in, twist. And again, we're trying not to let the head dictate the direction of the body. Trying to let the spine decide for that. A bit of light because like I've been plunged into darkness all of a sudden. Not mad about it, that's for sure. Love a good gloomy day. And as you breathe a little deeper and you find that twist and you rotate, you'll start to notice that this side maybe also feels the same, or maybe there's difference here. Your next inhale, unravel. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees butterfly out wide. Hands to feet, inhale. Exhale to fold. Use your elbows to gently press the inner thighs or calves out just a little bit. And we don't mind a bit of rounding in this pose, mainly because if we try and fully straighten the spine, actually this can really bring us away from the hip opening. But what you could do is try it. You could try lengthening the spine, finding that freedom and space, and then try and imagine that you're going forwards with the body so that your spine dictates the slide, the strength, the length of the torso and the main trunk of the body. And then all that part is doing is gliding forwards. It's just like a plank of wood, like it doesn't bend. Imagine it doesn't bend. If it didn't bend, what would you do here? You'd have to hip hinge. And then you might feel really different sensation, and there might be more stretch from the lower back particularly. So this is a place for you where you know there is tension and tightness, and maybe that's through injury, or perhaps it's just through, you know, general life, because our lower back is the place that holds a lot. When we're stressed and we're piling on jobs for ourselves to do, or there are just a million things for us to be thinking about and doing and plate spinning, this is where we hold it. It's like we're carrying it like a heavy rucksack on our back around with us. So that's why we can often find a deep, big stretch in that space. One more breath in. One more breath out. Unravel the spine. Keep the hands under the thighs, bend the knees. Come to lay down again. We're going to take supported bridge pose. So we are going to take block underneath the back, lift the hips, slide the block there. Okay, so finding support here for the spine. And again, feet want to be hip distance apart. And breathe as you arrive here. Notice your spine here. Feel the expanse and the softening. And if it feels appropriate, if it feels good for the body to do this, straighten out the leg. Lengthen here. And from this space, start to rebend the knees. Use the block still for support. And if it's on its middle setting, it might want to come onto its lowest one. Lift the legs to the sky, the legs in the air. The legs are elevated. You can notice now the feeling in the spine, because actually there's a lot more pressure on the spine itself, not in a negative way. The spine is the thing that's grounding us to the earth. So it's this opportunity really to feel really rooted into the earth beneath you. An opportunity for it to feel really grounded, really steady. 5 more deep here. Five more opportunities. And then very gently start to lower the legs, coming down. Lift the block up from underneath you and start to gently find Shavasana. I would advise a bolster under the knees for this, so the spine can be really rooted on the earth. So really finding yourself in the most grounded space you can be. And that also requires blankets and bolsters and all the good stuff to come in to keep us cozy. And allow yourself to completely recline and just bringing yourself into that sense of being held. When we work with the spine, we're really at our center, we're really at our core. We're really with the energy of kind of what makes us, what is the steadiness in us. So making sure we're just feeling as rooted and grounded and connected as we possibly can. We haven't got a single part of us that's thinking, oh, I wish I had that extra prop or this extra prop. Really coming into steadiness. Coming into a sense of ease. Beginning to close the eyes and dropping back into this shape, into this space. Gives us that full permission to let go. We should feel like we're able to softly release ourselves back into the places and spaces that often are holding. You feel them unfurl. We can release our grip on the earth. We can allow ourselves to fully let go. And as you do this, as you breathe yourself into this space, allow yourself to completely release, full holding, nothing else required, nothing else expected of you, other than just to be and to breathe.
and allowing yourself to slowly wake. Taking the breath up and down the front and back body first of all. Notice the spine, where you are. Gently start to roll onto left or right hand side and getting there however you want to. When you come to seated, slowly bring the hands together in prayer and remain with the eyes closed. Thumbs the third eye. And we'll seal our practice this morning with a bow of love, honor, respect, remembering that we are all connected. We are one. Namaste. Thank you. Happy Friday.